Hey, what's going on, my friend? It's Jeff Newport from ChasingStrength.com. And in today's video, we are discussing the hidden reason that you can't seem to lose any weight, even though you're trying. All right. So look, if you're attempting to lose weight, okay, or get lean, as I prefer to call it, and you just can't seem to do it, the scale's not budging, well, there is a very good reason why, or at least there could be. And that is assuming, of course, that you are doing all the right things that are necessary, right? You're training relatively, I almost said religiously there. That's the first word that came out of my mouth, maybe because, as I'm filming this, we're between Easter and Passover. I don't know. But the point is that you are regularly working out and training, okay? And you're doing the right things with your food. Okay, so you're eating healthy, what I call supportive nutrition meals, instead of eating like a death row inmate at a buffet. Okay, so before we get into the reason why, let me give you a story for illustration purposes. So Gayle was a registered nurse at Duke University, and she was a client of my personal training company about 20 years ago. Okay, her trainer, Sandi, had Gayle monitoring her food, eating healthy, tracking her macros. Yeah, I mean, we did that 20 years ago. It's not just because it's popular today, it doesn't mean it's something new. And she was doing cardio on her off days, the days she wasn't training with Sandi or doing any sort of resistance training. And she was doing that for extra calorie burning. Now, the problem was the scale would not budge. Gayle, poor thing, sweet as she was still as wide as she was tall. I'm not kidding, man. She looked like an apple with legs. And the rest of the training staff, and I'm ashamed to admit, myself included, right? We thought that she was cheating, that she was binge eating or binge drinking and not telling anybody about it and lying to Sandi when she'd come to do her check-ins, right? Because Gayle was a nurse at Duke University, she had access to cutting-edge medical technology. And one of those technologies about 20 years ago, if I recall correctly, was the concept of a sleep study, where they hooked her up to electrodes and monitored her brain waves and her vitals and so on and so forth. Well, it turns out that Gayle's O2 saturation levels dropped from the high 90s, where they're supposed to be, to the high 70s. And she woke up multiple times per night. Yeah, so you're right. That is very bad. Well, anyway, long story short, or long, however you want to look at it, we didn't see Gayle for about 2 months or so. And when we did, we literally did not recognize her. And that's because she dropped about 75 pounds practically overnight and was a normal size and weight. Now, what happened? Well, it turned out that as a result of that sleep study, the docs found the reason Gayle's O2 sats were so low was that she had an abnormal growth or thickness or extra tissue that grew on the back of her tongue. And as a result, her tongue fell into her throat at night and practically choked her to death every single night. What'd she do? Well, she had that extra growth surgically removed so she could actually breathe at night, and her body no longer lived in a chronic fight or flight state. Okay. So as a result, it was happy to give up that extra body fat that it perceived it needed for said emergency situation of staying alive at night. Okay. The point I'm trying to make here is sleep. Okay. Make sure you are getting yours 7+ hours a night. 8 is better. And if you're having trouble sleeping, well, go get a sleep study done. I had one done about 7 years ago, and it turned out that I had interrupted sleep due to my tongue falling in the back of my throat too. Okay. Apparently it's pretty common. I actually had sleep apnea, right? Pretty common for people who lift weights and guys in their 40s and older. So what I do, I got a sleep appliance, and it prevents that from happening. Okay, I put it in my mouth. It looks like a retainer almost. It locks my jaws together and pulls my lower jaw forward. Okay, so that my tongue stays where it's supposed to stay and it doesn't fall in the back of my throat. What should you do for workouts? Well, I prefer low stress, low tech workouts, ones that are simple and they strip off body fat, especially dangerous visceral body fat without intensive dieting. And if you want one of those, right, while you're trying to get your sleep sorted out, I'll leave a link for one in the description below this video. And if you're not sure what healthy eating is, okay, I'll leave a link to a description in the video where you can pick up some healthy meal plans, okay? So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, click the like button, click the subscribe button. Leave me your comments below. Do you struggle with sleep? Have you noticed this? Are you doing everything that you think that you should be doing and still not losing weight, right? And by everything, right, include in the comments what that everything is. Okay, hopefully, again, like I said, you found this video helpful. And if you did, share it with somebody, okay, who's struggling in the same way that you may be, all right? Or somebody you know who's struggling, even if you're not. You get my point, okay? All right, until next time, my friend, stay strong.